Okay, so I got a question about quadratic word problems, and just, you know, I know a lot of students from working with a lot of students in the office, they feel like, they they figure out one problem and they get to the next problem and it's slightly different and it throws them all off. So what I want to do is kind of give you not so much how to solve this particular problem, but give you something to think about each time you start one of these quadratic word problems. Okay. Now, a quadratic function always graphs into a parabola, and in this section, they're always looking for one of four different points. All right, yeah, they're either looking for the zeros, okay, the x-intercepts or the zeros, the y-intercepts or the vertex. Now, the tricky thing about the vertex is sometimes they're asking for the x-coordinate of the vertex, and sometimes they're asking for the y-coordinate of the vertex. So before you even begin the problem, you definitely want to be aware of what point you're going for. Otherwise, you can take a quadratic function and you can do all kinds of things with it. You can spend a lot of time working and not necessarily getting to the place that you want to go to. Okay, so you need to have the destination in mind when you're working on these problems. Okay, so this is a quadratic word problem, and it's giving you the height of the ball x seconds after Antoine threw it. So this is the function for it, and it's asking what is the height of the ball at the time it is thrown. Okay, now you think about this. What point are they going for here? Okay, and it's definitely not the vertex. The reason is the vertex always is coded with like a maximum or minimum type language, right? It just wants to know at the time it's thrown. And if you look at it, at the time it's thrown, x is 0, right? The x is 0 because that's when the person throws it. That's when the time starts. Okay, so they're looking for an x of 0, and that's definitely a y-intercept, right? For the x-intercepts, the height is 0, the y is 0, the height. For here, the x, or the time, is 0. So they're definitely looking for the y-intercept of this. Now let me take you to a different problem. Okay, so it's a quadratic function again, and they're asking, let's see, it's a function for the annual profit in terms of the price of the application they're selling. Okay, so what app prices will result in a $0 annual profit? So again, this is one where if something's 0, it's going to be one of the intercepts. It's either going to be the x-intercepts or the y-intercept. Okay, here you just have to figure out, is this 0 an x thing or a y thing? And we're told that the profit is 0. That's really the y thing, right? The profit's the y. The x is the price of the application, the price that you're charging for the application. So here we're looking for the actual zeros on the quadratic function. Okay, we're looking for these x-intercepts. You're not really interested in the one where the x is negative. It's always this one. Okay, so then the last one, let's see, we've got somebody throws a stone off of a bridge, right? And this function models the height of the stone x seconds after it's thrown. Okay, so y is the height and x is the time, and we're asked for the maximum height that the stone will reach. Okay, once you see maximum, you know you're locked into the vertex, right? Maximum or minimum of a quadratic function indicates you're looking for the vertex. The tricky thing, though, is you have to figure out whether they're looking for the x-coordinate or the y-coordinate. And it says, what is the maximum height that the stone will reach? Well, they're asking for the height, right? That's definitely a y thing. So you're going to want the y-coordinate. Okay. What would it sound like if they wanted the x-coordinate? They might say, how many seconds after Ming threw it did the stone reach its maximum height? Okay. It's still talking about a maximum, but it wants to know how many seconds after the person threw it that it would reach the maximum height. Okay, so that's the first and most fundamental, most important thing to do is know what you're looking for on each of these problems, and they'll switch it up, right? You can see. The other thing is there's three different versions of this skill, and it depends on what form they give the quadratic in. Here it's standard form, right? That's why it says quadratic word problem standard form. Here it's factored form, and here it's vertex form. Okay. Now you should be able to go to any of those. Excuse me. You should be able to go to any of those. But it's nice to know what's easy to find for each of the different equation forms. Okay, standard form, it's really easy to find the y-intercept. It's always just this number on the end. Okay, factored form, it's always really easy to find the zeros, the x-intercepts. So this question should be pretty darn easy. And on this question, if they give you the function in vertex form, if it's called vertex form, you can guess that the point that's easiest to find is the vertex. Okay, that doesn't mean that you can't find the zeros from vertex form, right? You can definitely do that. You can find the vertex from factored form, okay, and same thing from standard form. It's not as easy, but you can find it. But the most important thing to really remember is know where you're going, know what you're looking for. I hope that helps a little.